So far this year, there have been more than 1,200 marijuana arrests in Duval, St. Johns, and Clay counties, more than 900 of which have been misdemeanor charges. And as you may know, marijuana is now prescribed as a medicinal drug in Florida. Many people say enforcement just isn't worth the cost. Based on the formula you're going to see here, those arrests have cost nearly $250,000, and sometimes to jail offenders as young as 18. First Coast News' Jordan Farrell talked with a woman who's petitioning to decriminalize pot on the First Coast. Because of her job, she asked that we not show her face on television.
I know that every day there are arrests for simple possession in our paper. I mean, there were 2 today.
Pam Linder is a semi-retired nurse practitioner who started a true grassroots movement to get the possession of small amounts of marijuana decriminalized back in November 2016.
I mean, there are drugs that are much more harmful that are legal. You know, alcohol and tobacco are legal.
With a handful of petitions and her picket signs, Linder took to the streets of St. Augustine. Months later, she now has pages of signatures in support of giving police the option to write civil citations rather than arresting offenders.
These aren't legal documents. These are just saying that people want this to happen in the county. It's not a controversial thing. It's not controversial.
Linder recently presented her petitions to the St. Johns County Board of Commissioners, hoping that they would introduce an ordinance or at least start to discuss one.
Fines variable $100 to $500, and you will find copies of the Daytona and Orlando ordinances enclosed. And I sent this to you this morning, and I've sent it to you before.
Northeast Florida is one of the few remaining regions in the state that has held out on decriminalizing marijuana to some extent. Despite its medical status, the drug remains a controversial topic, one which law enforcement is hesitant to fully embrace.
You know, the argument from the other side is always going to be, is marijuana the gateway drug to other drug use or abuse? It's at this point, there's no science to say that there isn't. There's some to support that there is.
Mark Bachman is a former DEA agent and retired narcotics captain for the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. Bachman said he could see where it would be effective to issue citations over arresting individuals, but only under certain circumstances.
If it's just solely a possession case, I would go along with the infraction and or the citation. Now, if there's accompanying charges that go with it, you don't have any choice but to incarcerate them and probably lay that charge on them as well.
A similar online petition started in Jacksonville is now asking city council members to consider decriminalizing small amounts of marijuana. The petition has nearly 500 signatures. Jacksonville Beach attorney Carrie McLean agrees with the petition, but says it starts by getting the local authorities on board.
So it's going to take people in Atlantic Beach, people in Neptune Beach, people in Jacksonville Beach stepping up and talking to their sheriff's office and saying, hey, we want to know your views. We want you to realize that we think our tax dollars can go to more important crimes in our small area.
Jordan Farrell, First Coast News.
The First Coast News has contacted the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office requesting comment regarding those petitions, but we have yet to get a response.